Bam! Bam! I'm live. What's up? What's happening? For some reason, I'm having some computer malfunction, so hold on 1 second. Baby! Damn, just got real dark. There we go. Make that better. How's that? All right, cool. So what's up? Welcome to the South 2.1. We finally got a chance to come back, and this damn YouTube's been killing me, man, because it's like it has not been very forthcoming for me to try to load this thing the last couple of days. I think it might have been my computer, but whatever. Anyway, here we go. So it's been like, I think 3 weeks since I had a chance to catch back up, traveling a lot for work. Been all over the place, working on a new soccer stadium for Minnesota FC. If you haven't seen them yet, you're a big MLS fan, check them out because I'll be there for, oh man, I feel like I'll be there for the next 2 months every day, probably the rest of my life. Who knows? Anyway, so what's going on in the world of sports, in the world of news, in the world of wherever we are, because yet the world is still kind of crazy. A Kardashian still in the news. Go figure. Who knew? Who cares? Boy, Tristan, I hear you, dog. Went from one extreme to the next, but hey man, to each his own, I guess, whatever. By the way, before I forget, shout out No Sleep Lifestyle. Check them out online. My girl ZZ, her and her pop, Sleepy Man, got their own little line. So big shout out, big hustlers, good people, real good people. She also is Air Force Reserves, I believe, doing nursing. So go support her. She's a troop. Rock it out. Anyway, if you saw the game last night, and the game I'm referring to is UNC and Duke. Zion goes down first 36 seconds, blows out his knee. Some people were like, what the? I don't really care. And some people were like, man, that sucks. But it brings up the big debate again of college players. Should college players get paid? Or should they make some sort of money off their likeness? Or should they make this or whatever? And, blah, blah, blah. So pretty sure if y'all know from last time, I'm like, I guess it's 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. Yes, you get a scholarship, but in order to get a scholarship, you have to falter and you have to basically fall in line with certain other things. So hold on 1 sec. Shut that mouth. Man, that's what happens when you leave the TV on. And y'all just got to see my ass. So it's cute. I've been hitting them squats. Yeah. Anyway, so I'll keep it short and simple. I don't know about sweet because nothing is ever sweet when it comes to NCAA. The players should be given some sort of monetary compensation. The bottom line is, in my opinion, they should be given some sort of monetary compensation. Now, most people that I've chatted with over the last couple of weeks have been like, well, I mean, they get a scholarship, their education is paid for, but yet it's not really paid for. Yes, their education, in fact, that they go to class, they don't have to pay for the class. They don't have to pay for books. But a lot of times what people who are just either naive to the fact or have never went to college or had friends that were collegiate athletes, yes, your scholarship is paid, yes, your education is paid by a scholarship, but not everybody gets a full ride. There are a lot of athletes who they want to play ball. They go after the grind and the grit and the whole nine, but they get no scholarship, or they get what they call a partial scholarship. So again, not everything is paid for. But then the amount of time that you have to take and you put in. Now, yes, it's one thing if you're super talented and you get recruited and you go to a school and that school says, hey, I want you to come play basketball, or I want you to come play football or whatever. Baseball, lacrosse, swimming, whatever. But yet you still have to eat. Okay, well, cafeteria is open 3 times a day. So you get 3 meals a day. Okay, fine. Anybody who's been to college knows that you just don't go 3 times a day because A, your schedule doesn't always allow it. B, you could have an early morning class. C, you could have a very, very late evening class. And D, you're in college. Your metabolism is still burning, especially when you're boozing and playing and working. And, college, that's what college is. It's college's life. You are introduced to the real world. No parent. Well, most of you have no parent. Some of you probably may still have a parent. I don't know. While you're in college, that's basically funding everything you do. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But a collegiate athlete doesn't necessarily have that option. So when you say that they're given a full scholarship, yes, their education is paid for in the sense that their classes are paid for and their books are paid for. But who pays for their meals? And don't give me the cafeteria crap, because guess what? Somewhere they're still having to come out of pocket. If they decide, you look at shoe deals, you look at marketing fees, you look at all the money that's made, jersey sales. It doesn't even have to have their name on the back of the jersey. The mere fact is that, for example, Todd Gurley, University of Georgia, the number 3 jersey when Todd Gurley was at UGA was one of the biggest selling jerseys UGA had in ever. They still sell the number 34 in honor of Herschel Walker. They don't put his name on it, but everybody knows who 34 is. Just like when No Sean Marino was there. Everybody knew who 27 was after he made the leap, or 24, whatever it was. I know because I had the jersey. Didn't have his name on it, but those players don't see one dime of it. And then, God forbid, like my boy from Alabama, number 4, I can't think of his name, but he was such a prominent athlete. God almighty. Anyway, he broke his ankle, shattered it, ended his entire football career. Was supposed to be a top 5 draft pick next year. I'll have to think of his name in a minute. But anyway, he ends up no scholarship anymore, no funding, no NFL contract, no shoe money, no nothing. So what does he do? He's got to go back, and now Alabama only keeps him on there for the following year. He doesn't finish. Now he's got to turn around and pay for the rest of his education out of his own pocket. But he was such a highly recruited talent coming out of high school. God dang it, what is his name? Anyway, I'll think of it. Even if I got to Google it, I'll think of it. Or some of you, I'm sure, probably will remember it before I will, especially you Alabama fans, because y'all know I don't like Alabama. But they do recruit a lot of talent. Anyway, point being is, after watching that game last night, it really did kind of alter my opinion a little bit in the fact of Zion could literally shut it down. Ben Simmons is a prime example. Ben Simmons is like, I'm not going to college. He's like, I'm only going to LSU because I have to go to college in order to make it to the NBA. Luka Doncic, who plays for Dallas, did 1 year overseas. Then he got recruited, and now he's one of the top players. So I'll be honest with you. If you're a big-time recruit playing ball, go overseas for a year and play. You ain't got to go to school. Go overseas and play for a year. You can get paid while you do it at 18 years old, then turn around and come back to the NBA. And that's just the system. That's the way it is. Change my mind. You're probably not going to change my mind. But and I'm not saying that, pay the athletes, that's end all be all. No, but I'm saying they should be compensated in some sort of way other than saying, oh, we gave you a scholarship, because I'm not a big fan of that. But with that being said, when you're talking about professional sports, Antonio Brown, come on, bro. What are you doing? The Instagram live video was tight in the sense that, okay, your hair is still kind of wild. I'm digging it, though. But I do understand wanting to get out of Pittsburgh. The talk about Big Ben has always been that. Nobody's ever really said it. You don't have to really agree with your quarterback as long as you two can get on the same page, during the season. And AB's like, finally, he's just like, I'm over it. I'm done. He saw what they did to Le'Veon Bell, who, by the way, the Steelers have mentioned they're not going to tag. They're going to send him up the road as a free agent. Good for him. Go get your money, homie. Just don't go to any team in the NFC South, and we'll be fine. I got no love lost. And Atlanta fans, don't say, oh, let's go get Antonio Brown. We don't need him. We got the best wide receiver in the National Football League right now named Julio Jones, and we got another one who's up and coming, who's probably he won't be considered a GOAT, but he's going to be considered a really good wide receiver in the next 3 to 4 years, as long as he maintains it, Calvin Ridley. And, of course, the long one, Mohamed Sanu, he'll be around too. So, and then a couple of more rookies we've got coming in. I mean, they know what they're doing. Yes, the Falcons have made some changes. Not really sure I like old Dirk coming from Tampa Bay, but, we'll see how it plays out. But I tell you what, the mere fact that Poole we're not going to sign him. We're going to let him go. Keanu Neal will be back, so that's good. Ricardo Allen should be back. That's good. We'll see what we do in the draft. I think we moved up a couple spots. We're like in the early teens, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll just have to kind of play and see how it goes. But at this point, it is what it is, Atlanta. We'll keep it rolling. So speaking of keeping it rolling, I don't know if any of you guys watch the NBA All-Star Weekend, but man, I'm not gonna lie. It was fun if you were there. From what I'm told, I wasn't there, so I couldn't tell you. But it was also boring. It was boring to watch. They don't play defense. They haven't played defense the last couple of years. I mean, it kind of just is what it is. So LeBron James, you can tell, hasn't really lost a step, but he's right there, and he's still one of my favorite players of all time. But it'd be hard for him. I mean, he's going to need some help in LA. Make some trades, make some calls, do whatever you got to do. But speaking of LeBron James, for any of you hip hop fans, 2 Chainz, new album, Rapper Go to the League. LBJ has was like some sort of A&R in that mix somehow. I don't know, but it looked to be pretty dope. So anybody who's a 2 Chainz fan, or anybody who's a hip hop fan in general who enjoys good hip hop music, get ready for the album Rapper Go to the League by 2 Chainz. It's coming out pretty soon. It's pretty dope, actually. But anyway, back to the All-Star game. So it was in Charlotte. It was a good time. It was whatever. Actually, the 3-point contest, the dunk contest was pretty entertaining. I mean, for having a bunch of young guys in there. My boy John Collins, Atlanta Hawks, Trae Young doing the skills challenge, who I still cannot believe lost on that shot by Tatum. He from the half court. But in my opinion, that right there solidified the fact that the All-Star Weekend maybe should change some of the things they do. The dunk contest is always going to be that. Obviously, next year, people are like, oh, Zion's going to be in there. Okay, well, we hope. I mean, everybody thought LBJ was going to be in it too, and he hasn't done one dunk contest yet. So Seth Curry got him a little dunk in there, a little alley-oop reverse, and yet he hasn't even been in a dunk contest. So, but he wasn't a 3-point contest. Him and his brother, which I thought was pretty tight, had a bet. Whoever lost has to pay their parents' tickets the rest of the way, or the rest of their career, excuse me. So, hey, man, I guess when you got the money to do it, you can do it. It is what it is, right? So anyway, All-Star game, garbage. Wasn't a fan. I love basketball, but something's got to change. So, we can talk about that more later, but with the second half of the season coming up, a lot of teams are making push. I say this to say that all you Hawks fans out there, while we don't want to see the Hawks lose, we do want to see them get a higher draft pick, get put into the lottery. So win, but don't win, if you know what I mean. We'll see what happens. The Celtics can make a push. I mean, the East is wide open. The West, we pretty much already know who the top 6 or 7 teams are for sure. Russell Westbrook and Paul George are playing lights out. OKC looks good. I think they could probably be the biggest threat to anybody. A lot of people will not agree with me on that, and that's fine. But I'm telling you, if they keep playing the way they've been playing, regardless of how Harden's playing in the Rockets, I just don't. I see OKC making a strong case in a big push. And to be honest with you, they're probably one of the better teams defensively to match up with the Golden State Warriors. You heard it here first. I'm just saying. So, just saying. Speaking of just saying, I'm just saying, for anybody who has not paid attention to the sport of boxing lately, there's a major heavyweight fight coming up. Not to mention the fact there was also paperwork that was just sent out for a major heavyweight rematch in which a lot of people felt Tyson Fury got gypped. So Wilder versus Fury 2 seems to be on the horizon. The other one is Big Baby Miller against my boy Anthony Joshua, the big UK heavyweight, just lights out. Man, he's so bad. If like in a good way, so badass. I told my mom I'd try not to cuss as much, I promise, but I have a sailor mouth, Ma. I'm sorry. I love you though. With that being said, Anthony Joshua is probably one of the better, I don't know if I should say best, one of the better heavyweights that's been around. I think it's still undetermined how great he really can be. He's got to have some big fights, some bigger fights, I should say. This definitely is going to be one of them. And of course, everybody wanted to see him and Wilder, but he's like, why would I want to fight Wilder? Because Fury should have won that fight. And he's not doing anything for me. The Big Baby fight in Madison. This is Joshua's first fight in Madison Square Garden. Actually, I think if I'm not mistaken, it might be his first fight stateside. I got to double check that. Don't quote me on it. But if you haven't seen it, check it out because I'm telling you, he's a beast. Go to Instagram. You can find him on Instagram, Anthony Joshua. He's nasty. It's going to be good. The fight promo comes up. Fight, I think, is June June 1st, if I'm not mistaken. Speaking of fighting, George St. Pierre, for all you MMA fans, he decided to retire. I'm not mad at him. I mean, I think he's like 29-2 or 30-2 or something like that. He's only had 2 losses, and to be honest, he's probably one of the best pound for pound MMA fighters that the sport has ever seen. People can say what they want to about Conor, and they can say what they want to about Khabib and everybody else, but St. Pierre, by far in his prime, in his heyday, was if not the best, one of the best fighters that the sport had ever seen. And but he does it with class and grace, and he's just an all-around great guy. Congratulations to him and his career. Big time Hall of Famer, first ballot, no doubt. So, speaking of Hall of Famers, actually, no, we're not going to talk about Hall of Famers right now. I was going to talk about Terrell Owens and some comments that he made recently, but I'm not going to do that. So, because I like T.O., and I'm not still really sure where I stand on the subject. I've got to do a little bit more research. But anyway, but speaking of baseball, I'm sure none of you Padres fans out there are happy. I'm happy. Manny Machado signing $300 million, 10 years. San Diego Padres, they've got their third baseman locked in. Just stop for a second and think about $300 million. What? Meanwhile, Bryce Harper's still sitting over here, mad as hell, still doesn't have his contract. You know what? And he's going to get it. To me, he's still one of the top 3 players in Major League Baseball right now. Y'all can say what you want to, but Mike Trout and Bryce Harper are probably the 2 best baseball players right now. Hands down. I don't care if you hate him or love him. Bryce Harper is one of the best Major League Baseball players right now. At any given time, he is the best player on the field, period. Mike Trout, exact same way. Now, you can make the argument for which one you obviously want to start a team with, but they're both young. I think they're both 26, if I'm not mistaken, 25, 26. They're both going to get massive contracts. Could potentially get 2 massive contracts in their career over the next 15-year span. We'll just have to see. But with that being said, Bryce Harper right now, Philadelphia is the front runner. I hope they don't get him, because that's just leaving one bad apple and going to another. No pun intended. Yeah, there, all the pun intended. I'm not a big Apple fan. So the Nationals, you can kick rocks. Philly, you can kick rocks. Still Bravos, baby. But y'all know how I feel about my Braves. I love them. They're good people. They're not my champs. They're not my Sox. But, there's family tied in there, so can't really argue that. But with that being said, Manny Machado signed $300 million. I do think that it shouts up. A lot of people were making the argument about free agency being messed up. I think Verlander made some comments. DeGrom made a few comments. I've seen the guys on PTI debate it. I've seen the guys in MLB on the MLB Network debate it. The thing about it is, and this is just an opinion, so like most things, we all have them. Y'all know the saying. If for some reason you can go get your money, then go get your money. I for one, I'm not going to be mad at you. If I played Major League Baseball, I'd probably go get my money too. Now, a lot of people don't realize that MLB has some of the most guaranteed money that you'll ever make as an athlete, as a player. So for $300 million, it's not all fully guaranteed, but there is a lot of guaranteed money, and there's a lot of perks that go with it. But I also saw this. If you look at the largest Major League Baseball contract based on how it was laid out and when it was signed, Manny Machado's deal is still not the biggest. Giancarlo Stanton's deal is not the biggest. Alex Rodriguez, in today's market, his contract value would have been worth $380 million. Whoosah. $380 million. What in the absolute heck could you possibly do with $380 million? I know what I could do with $500,000, much less $380 million. So all I'm saying is that's a lot of money. But Machado's contract is still not the biggest, so I'd be surprised to see what Bryce Harper gets. I still think it's in the $300 million range. I think it really depends on what team he signs with. I'll be honest with you. Go to the American League, bro. Just DH. DH the rest of your career and call it a day. Make all your money. Be the next pool host for all I care. As long as you ain't in the National League, and as long as you ain't in our division, I don't really care. So, arrivederci. Speaking of news, speaking of Riverderches and however you say all that stuff, our favorite president that we love to hate, Donald Trump. Still in the news, still being Donald Trump. I don't even know what to say other than, man. Although I did read an article, I believe from NBC maybe, saying that Trump has now made a push to decriminalize globally homosexuality. If that is true, which I mean, it's NBC, so it's got to be true, right? Possibly. I don't know. Anyway, if it is true, and he is doing it, then good for you. Along the same lines, the Mueller file, Mueller, however you say it, I don't know how you say that jackass's name. He also is getting ready to release his report, I think within the next week or so, while the president is abroad, and people keep asking, should it be released to the public? Regardless of whether we think it should be released to the public, he gave the power to one person and one person only, and that is the new attorney general. And if the new AG says, yeah, we're going to release it to the public, or you know as well as I do, they'll release some to the public, who cares? I mean, what are you going to do? Listen, either impeach him or move on. If you're not going to impeach him, move on. You can consistently gripe and talk and fuss and bitch and whatever. But unless you are one of those people, and I will say this again because I believe in this wholeheartedly, unless you are one of those people who are actively trying to change something negative to positive in your community, starting in your community and building up from there, I don't want to hear it. And then y'all look at me, well, Josh, you haven't done it. I am still, just because I don't live in Millersville anymore, I am still part of that community, and I still will try to help it in every sense and fashionably way possible. It just is what it is. It's what I do. It's my hometown. And of course, people would be like, no, get as far away from here as you can, but it's still the community. And most of you who don't know this is I've always tried to find some sort of ways to help without it having to be monetarily necessary. But a lot of people don't have the voice or don't feel that they have the voice, and they don't know how to approach it. And of course, as y'all know, I have no filter and I have a gift of gab. So I'm going to talk to whoever, whenever, however I need to be like, hey, why is this happening and why can we not change it? I'm still pissed that Millersville hasn't even developed a skate park yet. 7 years ago, I went before the city council. 4 years ago, I'm before the city council, and nothing has still happened. So if y'all think I forgot about it, I haven't forgotten about it. I'm actually still working on it, but life and work and travel and family and the whole nine, it happens. So get used to it. What else? Oh, we were talking about Trump. Kind of over talking about him. I'm actually over talking about politics. The problem is that the left is always right and the right is always right. But yet the left is always wrong and the right is always wrong, depending on who you ask. Does that really make sense? And then everybody's like, well, I'm just going to move to Canada. Okay, well, move to Canada. I'm sure they'll take you. I'm sure they want you. But why just run away from the problem? Weren't we all taught as kids to not necessarily run away from the problem? Weren't we taught to face our issues, face our problems, stand our problems in the face and say, hey, you're not going to be a problem anymore. I'm going to be a solution. Okay, people, start being a solution. Shout out to Heroes Media Group. Sorry I couldn't get you more time in today. It is Thursday. I still got a lot of work to do. Episode 2.1 is here. It is now delivered. Episode 2.2, I will see you in about a week with a lot more fun stuff. We're just really getting this thing started and getting it built up. So share the YouTube link. Go to my Instagram, Welcome to the South _official. And you'll see the YouTube link in there. Go to heroesmediagroup.com. You can see the video there, or they even change it where you can download it, put it as a podcast, listen to it on the way. If you got questions, comments, concerns, hit me up. If you don't have my number, my email's in there. Either way, any topics you want to hear me discuss, holler at me, let me know. I look forward to being able to do this a lot more. In the meantime, peace, love, and nappiness. Oh, before I forget, shout out to my boy Fish Scales, Skinny DeVille, all the Nappy Roots. They've got new beers on the way. I had one recently called Kentucky Mud down at Arches Brewing. which is down in Hateville, which is like literally right beside the airport. Beautiful area up. They're finally rebuilding and building some stuff up, and it was a lot of fun, really good time. We really enjoyed it. But check it out. You can follow them on Instagram as well, Atlantucky, I think it is, something like that. Or just go follow Nappy Roots, follow Nappy Scales, follow Skinny, follow Vista, any of those guys, Ron, all from Nappy. They'll 808 Blake. All of them have it tied into their social media somehow. But I'm telling you, watermelon chicken and grits, or watermelon chicken and beer, whatever it is. I don't know. They've got some good ones, but Kentucky Mud is a stout. It's probably one of my favorites that I've had from them so far. So if you like a stout, check it out. Arches Brewing. Welcome to the South 2.1. We're done. Holler. Peace, love, and happiness. See ya.